My name's Riley, and I'm on the issue of the affirmative side of raising the tobacco consumption to 21 years old. And to back up what my partner Derek was saying, David was asking that the statistics, if we raise the age to 21, and in fact we actually did say the statistics. We said that if the age was increased to 21, there would be a 12% decrease in the total amount of smokers. And more importantly, there would be a 25% decline in the amount of smokers between ages 15 to 17. So there actually are statistics to back that up. And he mentioned that only 25% of students actually have smoked tobacco products, and he says that's not a very big amount, but if you take the total, which is 50.1 million students, that's almost 13 million students that are smoking and that are using tobacco products illegally. And we want to stop that. From the Centers of Disease Control, raising the smoking age to 21 will complement the other beneficial and anti-smoking strategies that are currently in place. According to a study from Ohio State University of Public Health, if a man has never smoked by the age of 18, the odds are 3 to 1 he never will. Once an individual has reached the age of 21 without smoking, there is little incentive for him to even start. From the Centers of Disease Control, nearly $170 billion is in direct medical care for adults, and more than $156 billion is in lost productivity due to premature health and exposure to secondhand smoke. So not only are people being affected in their health, they're being affected economically by losing productivity and having to spend more money on their health. And the revenue loss is actually very minuscule compared to the money being spent on direct medical care, because from tobacco companies, the states have made a total of $25.6 billion in the fiscal year of 2015, and from tobacco taxes and legal settlements, but they will only spend $490.4 million, and that's less than 2% on prevention and cessation programs. Currently, only 2 states, Alaska and North Dakota, fund tobacco control programs at the recommended CDC levels. And Alaska is already one of the states who have raised their age limit to 19, so they're on the start. Out of the $490.4 million, only $9.8 million is to the average of every state that they're spending, and that is not enough, because the CDC recommends 15%, which is $3.3 billion, and that is exponentially higher than $490.4 million for 50 states. Centers for Disease Control says only 5 other states fund tobacco control programs at half the recommended cost, and that's very minuscule. They want $66 million for each state to spend on the funding programs, and that would be able to fund each program and education programs across the nation. Raising the smoking minimum age will secure health of the younger generation and prevent smoking-related deaths. From John Cruzel, cigarettes are the most deadly consumer product sold in America and are the only legal product that when used is intended will kill upon half of its users. The CDC reported smoking is the number of most preventable causes of death in the U.S., killing over 1,300 people a day. That's about 500,000 people each year. And raising the smoking age to 21, from the Washington Post, the IOM stated there would be 249,000 fewer premature deaths, 45,000 fewer lung cancer deaths, and 4.2 million fewer total years of life lost among those born between 2000 and 2019. Our plan is to raise the age to 21 and get regular consumption through a licensing program. It would consist of an individual after their 21st birthday would only be able to smoke under supervision of those 25 or older with a tobacco license. To get said tobacco license, the individual would have to pay a fee to enroll in a program and complete a state-administered tobacco education course. Upon successful completion of the course requirements, a tobacco license would be issued, allowing that individual to consume tobacco within the confines of the law. This will prevent minors ease to the access, because anyone who chooses to enroll in the course must have successfully completed secondary education. Also, anyone with a tobacco license who is caught furnishing tobacco to minors or in violation of any other provision of the law would have his or her license and all tobacco privileges revoked for a year, and a fee would have to be paid. To enforce this, would be met with revoking the license of those individuals over 18 and a fine, and if you're under 18, you wouldn't be able to, you would have to pay a fine and go to a mandatory education course. To get the states on board, we would raise to 21, we would need the government support from the state. This will be followed by the states, by the federal government threatening funding for the federal highways. This is like the National Minimum Drinking Age Act of 1984, which said 21 is the minimum age or you lose 10% of federal highway funding. We would do the same thing for this minimal smoking age. And this should increase because it's already been proven in the past that drinking has gone down, and the way we would say that is that 8% of people under 18 already smoke. We would only give them 2 years to lower it down to 5%, or they won't get the funding. And so this will get the states on board to actually enforce it. Another objection to this will encourage smuggling or organized crime. And this would seem to be the case. However, demand would diminish because smokers want to quit. 7 out of 10 smokers actually say they want to quit, and they regret their decision to actually start smoking. And so making it harder to obtain cigarettes would actually be a benefit to people who started because they want to quit. Only 2 out of 10 smokers want to continue smoking and smoke for the actual enjoyment.